Welcome everyone to this what shall we call social experiment.
We back.
Yeah, in a very different way. This is we're gonna call this one without a net. Uh, th- by the way, this is the Husky Bible podcast. I'm trying to bury the lead here. Ariel, Jonathan, you know the whole thing. We've been doing this for what? How many? What? Like 20 episodes now together. About
Yeah, we're up there. Yeah.
about 20 episodes together. So by now, if you don't know who we are, like that's on you. And also, I apologize in
We
advance.
apologize in advance. We don't have any insurance to pay for your mental health sessions with
Uh,
any doctor.
we would
You're
imagine
at your
that you
own
are
risk.
insured on your own, all on your lonesome, and do not seek any retribution from our end, because you will shall not find that because we don't know you. Anyway, uh, yeah, we're
And
gonna
if we
do.
do, we still don't know you.
Yeah, we don't. No, we just plead the fifth, basically. Like if you remember Beverly Hills Cop and that scene where the captain is chewing Axel Foley's ass out, and then his friend said, "I told you that, Stuart. This is none of your goddamn. This is not my locker." That's basically it. That's basically the attitude we were. This is not my conversation. I don't know who this person is. I'm out of here. I'm gone. Anyway, so this dragged on long intro is just to tell you we out without no program today. We have nothing planned. We have nothing to thinking about what we're going to talk about, contrary to the other times that we had a little schedule thingy that we put out and say that, oh, we're going to talk about this, this, and that. We're just trying to do something different. We're trying to find the niche what this podcast is supposed to be providing its purpose for. And I mean, basically, the things that we talk about is stuff that you can scroll down on social media. Guess where we found it? guess where we found it? So we were doing your job for you. Like we were reading stuff for you. Like these fat fools be reading the crap I read on my social media. So why do I need to listen to an hour long podcast regurgitating all the crap I read during the week? Well,
Because you love us.
yeah, because well, some of you actually do, because some of you actually sit down and listen to the whole thing. That's love. I mean, that's the biggest love language I've ever heard of. Sitting down, listening to this whole damn thing, this incoherent rambling for an hour and some change. I mean, if that's on
Let
you,
me sit down and listen to these fat bastards.
let me listen to these fat fools talk about and spewing poetically about nothing, nothing of substance and importance.
These dudes really think they're important?
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. Like I don't know what is it when people put a microphone on their mouth and start spewing stuff on the internet. They think like, oh, we are important. Believe us, that is not our case.
Yeah, definitely not our case.
That is not. That does not apply to us whatsoever. We have no understand like any pretension that people may have. Like, oh, I'm in the internet and I have a podcast. Believe you me, the audience of this podcast lets us know in humility exactly what is our position on a weekly basis.
All five of you,
Yeah, all
let us
my
know exactly where the hell
like
we stand.
like if we put out a survey, that survey is just gonna collect cyber dust and cyber webbings. It's just gonna be there, like you can even put it's a elevator music in it. So yeah,
Yeah.
we really don't have a net, but we would like to do. We really want to acknowledge someone that did pass away this week. I mean, this is not planned, but we got to talk about it because it happened. Lance Reddick, a famous actor. Well, I would say a character actor, actually. He's been in a bunch of stuff. The Wire. Most famously, most recently known for being in the John Wick movies. He's the the ambassador's attendant, the guy who always greets Mr. John Wick. and with a very stoic voice. Passed away this week at the age of 60. Uh, Sad news, because, well, death. Death is not something that everybody looks forward to, but it is a natural process of life. And the man left his imprint on the world, which is more than we can say to anyone else in the planet. And apparently, he was a very loved man because everybody's just been pouring out tributes to him.
My
Uh,
God, Instagram was just loaded
yeah,
with everyone he worked with.
yeah. Even the one of the bad guys in John Wick 3, he used to be a very not a big actor, but I think he had his big fame. Like John DeCascos, I think that's his name. He was in the Double Dragon movie from the 90s. He was one of the John Wick villains in Chapter 3 in Parabellum. He was hunting down John Wick, so he did get to work with him in John Wick 3. And that dude has been posting nonstop on Instagram. Mark DeCascos, sorry, that's his real name, not John. Mark DeCascos. He's been posting nonstop about him, sharing pictures and whatnot. So that dude is pretty hurt about this death. Because even Holly Berry, who they worked with also in the same John Wick movie in Chapter 3 or Parabellum, uh, a lot of people come out of the woodworks to, share their condolences and their grief over the passing of this man. And we shall honor him at this time by mentioning him and remembering him for his roles. He was also, like we already mentioned, in The Wire. And as I was saying before we recorded, I also remember him from one of the funniest skits on Laugh or Die. I will let you search for that. Uh, it's kind of messed up, but that's my sense of humor. The skit, I mean, not him. But again, that's my sense of humor. I'm like that Green Day song. I'm a walking contradiction. So I'm a guy of peace, of love, but then again, I have the most fucked up imagination under God's green earth.
That you do, my friend, but we're all different. So
Yeah, and the important thing is I don't act it out. That's the important thing. I
yes, that is the most important
Oh
thing.
yes, very important. Believe me, the humanity better be thanking me on their knees. They better be thanking me. Like, please don't manifest that. No, I won't. Don't worry. No, that beast is locked up and safe.
What's sad about this whole thing is that the dude was 60 years old, died of natural causes. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that's
Well,
the not to sound
it's
morbid like you told me before, not to make it sound bad, but I guess
yeah.
it's the best way to go.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to hear about he died because of X and Y. Add negative issue here, whatever, let's not mention any,
Hmm.
but he died, I mean, too young, 60. You could say, well, 60 is a long life. Not really, especially a guy like you're talking about me. That's 15 years away from me. That's 15 years away. You put it in that context, that's not much. That's not much at all. But then again, we don't know when it's our time to punch that ticket. We really don't know unless you prepare other alternatives, which I hope none of you.
So he finished wrapping up about 4 movies before he passed away. So obviously we got John Wick coming out.
Yeah, John Wick 4, and there's talk about a John Wick 5.
White Man Can't Jump. I guess they're doing a remake.
Yeah, they
And then
are.
Shirley, and then I guess it's an upcoming American film directed by Lee Wiseman from a screenplay by the film is intended to be a spin-off of John Wick. So it's called Ballerina.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a TV series.
Yeah, and then the Kane something court martial art kind of movie, Captain Blakely. So he I guess finished up recording some good movies. Um, and show, as you say. He's so our prayers and thoughts go to his family, and hope they find some kind of peace. But like we said, 60 years old is a bit too young,
Mm-hmm.
and just we don't like doing these segments.
No, I mean,
They're not the greatest to do, and especially this because the people that you mentioned before, I know them. You said a couple of them before, like Twitch. I know you really didn't know them, but this guy here, I I don't know him, you know, like that, but just watching his movies, um, and just watching John Wick 4 is just gonna be a little bit different.
yeah, not knowing it, like watching movies, generally speaking, is like watching at the stars. I'm gonna get philosophical here for a moment.
You go ahead.
Because like when you look at the stars, and what I mean, I'll probably butcher the significance, but I hope I land my point somewhere. When you look at the sky and look at the stars, you're not looking at the present. You're looking at millions of years ago, because the majority of those stars have been dead millions of years ago. It's just that it took them all those millions of years to get to the point that we see them now. Same
Mm.
thing with movies. You're looking at the past because that movie was filmed like a year and a half ago. So when you see these movies and they say, "Oh, this movie just came out this year," yeah, the finished product, the product itself that was made like a year and some change ago. So every
Yeah,
time you look at a movie, you're actually just looking at the past.
that's he did some games too. He did Destiny 2. That's Lightfall. That's coming out soon, and then he did Hellboy. So he had his
Which
hand in
one?
pretty much a lot of things.
Which one? The one Ron Perlman one or the dude from Stranger Things one?
What Hellboy?
Mm-hmm.
What's the video game?
Oh,
Yeah, he did a lot for Destiny, the video game, and then he did Hellboy. So he did a lot of things. He kept going. I mean, we're gonna hear from when you're in the video games and movies, you're heard forever. Who's
hmm.
to say 20 years down the line, our kids are gonna watch John Wick, or watch play a video game or something like that, and be like, oh, who's this guy? So just hits a little different, I guess, for me. Just
No, I
it's
mean
just gonna be different
that's the
watching the movie
thing
now.
that when you are in that type of line of work, you are basically cemented out there in the ether forever.
Yep.
You're recorded there forever, so in that sense, he will live on, and hopefully his family keep getting them checks after he's gone.
Well, the games, the movies, the reruns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, how do you think Macaulay Culkin stayed so relevant and made his money? Damn Home Alone movie plays every damn Christmas.
Yeah, and also him and getting emancipated from his parents also that kind of helped
That helped a lot. Yeah. So
because they were sucking him dry. Anyway,
we'll just yeah, it's a whole nother
anyway,
story.
yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna go there because that's just gonna take another I don't know some more time out of the
Yeah.
podcast. Trying to keep this happy go lucky, and smiles all over the smiles, and not keep things so damn freaking negative all the time because we got the world for that.
In certain jobs. Anyway,
uh, anyway, so yeah, you were saying something earlier before we started recording, so that way I guess that will fill up enough time.
okay. You want to
Uh,
go there?
Yeah, let's go there. I mean, it's not like we're discussing like World War III or
No, no, no.
any world changing event. Well,
So
depending on your predilections and whatnot.
yeah, no. So as I was mentioning to you before,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Peacock. I was watching.
AK the venue where you watch all WWE pay per views or
Yeah, pretty much.
premium live events.
That's where you go to.
Yeah, so you only have that use for it.
So,
Continue.
well, you know,
Hey,
like me, I have other uses for it. I
no,
watch a
no,
couple
no.
of shows on
Depending,
there, and I was watching
depending on your likes and
on your
whatnot.
likes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, depending on your
So I was
likes.
watching. I was bored. I was watching. I was like, let me go on to Peacock. I went into Peacock, and I went into documentaries on WWE, and I saw Stone Cold, and I watched his when he was, what was he was the ringmaster, but what was his name before that? Stunning Steve.
Yes, Stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah,
And in ECW, sorry, in ECW, he
yeah,
was superstar Steve Austin.
yeah. Watching John Heyman that young,
Paul
my
Paul
God,
Heyman.
Paul Heyman. I'm
Paul
sorry,
Heyman.
my apologies.
How dare you, sir? How dare
The
you?
audacity that I have.
How dare you?
So, I watched his, then I watched The Rock's. At his, his dad before. I mean, like you said, these things were filmed probably, God knows how long ago, because when they were
The Rock had
basically
hair?
doing, huh?
The Rock had hair?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
They
how you
went through
nailed it
his
down.
thing, but when they were interviewing him for, I guess, the documentary, he wasn't as jacked yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was some time ago. And then I thought, you know, these NBA fans always say, who's better, LeBron or Jordan?
Oh, God, that old discussion.
And that discussion is a big one, because you also have to throw Kobe in there.
You gotta throw a bunch of people in there.
You do got to throw a bunch of people in there. But I was thinking they played two different times, and that's always my go-to. You can't compare different. When
Well,
Jordan was playing, you got clothesline when you came to the ring, when you came to the paint.
it was hockey on a
Yeah,
basketball court,
yeah.
basically.
Now you look at someone or put a nail on them, and you get a foul call. So I was thinking, well, here you got these two megastars in the mid '90s, late '90s, basically carrying the weight of WWE on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why isn't there a debate that I've seen of who's better between Austin and The Rock?
So you went there.
So I went there.
Yeah. So you
In my head, I'm there.
blatantly asking the question that should not be asked: who is better, The Rock or Austin? And in my opinion, as if it's worth any damn, but I'll give it anyways.
I want your opinion. It's worth it to me, because you
Okay.
watched a lot more wrestling, and today you still
Eh,
watch a lot more wrestling than I do.
Look, as with everything, I would dare say it's apples and oranges, and although it's kind of unfair to say that because both of them were in the same time frame, within the same time, and both of them shared the load in terms of carrying the company and putting it on their shoulders. But
But let me clarify this. I'm talking about just wrestling, not outside the ring,
no, 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 no,
not what
no.
they become,
No, no,
but
no, 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 no.
what they did in the ring
I'm,
for the company.
I'm 100% with you there. I'm
Okay.
100% because the after career of The Rock obviously has
Well,
been.
obviously it's taken off, but Austin hasn't taken off in Hollywood. But he's done a lot of things with podcasts and his
Yeah,
beer and things like that.
yeah. But that end is apples and oranges because it's success, but at different measures in a different fields. But success nonetheless. So both of them are doing okay. Let's just say that both of them are doing
Oh yeah,
fine.
they're well good. I'm not worried about them being
They're
bankrupt
okay,
anytime soon.
exactly. But the discussion here is about that particular time frame, mid to late '90s, early 2000s. Who was the best between Austin and The Rock? Uh, we got to have two main events, I think, with Rock and Austin. Yes, two WrestleMania main events
I
with
thought
Rock
we
and
had
Austin.
three.
No, because the third one wasn't a main event. It was in WrestleMania, but
Okay.
it was not the main event. They faced each
Okay.
other in
But
WrestleMania
it
three
wasn't the main
times.
event. I
It
got you.
wasn't the main event, and that was a match that Austin retired. because that's the one, spoilers, that The Rock won. Before that, Austin beat Rock both times.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah, twice. So the first time, Austin won clean. Clean as a freaking whistle because Rock was the bad guy, was the main villain. The second time that they faced each other, I think it was in '01.
Yeah, Austin just came back from his injury.
And Austin had come back from his injury, but that is the infamous time that
Scorpion King.
Austin turned heel or a bad guy. And it took like 18,795 share shots to the head to finally down The Rock and finally eat that 1, 2, 3 with the assistance of Vince McMahon. So it took a while, but Austin finally won, and he won. And by the way, it was a no DQ match. So the fact that he hit him with that many times, don't ask me to repeat the same number because that came out of my ass. That number just came out of my head. Like that.
I know it's 18,000
something. Yeah, 18,000 something chair shots to the head later, and Austin won. But I digress because I'm just stalling here to give the answer. Like if you want like the bare bone answer, like just pull the Band-Aid out quick, Austin. To me, Austin. Why Austin? Jesus Christ! Like how many T-shirts did the Austin 316 thing sold? It's still selling.
Still selling. I want to know the number after he won that King in the Ring, because that's where the 316. And when I was watching,
dude, like in the 90s, there were 2 wrestling T-shirts that every wrestling nerd had to have. It was the Austin 316 and the NWO T-shirt. That's it. After that, it was like Uncle Joey says, "Go, you can go fuck your mother."
Well, no, The Rock Just Bring It sold a lot too.
Yeah, but look,
it sold.
But what is an iconic?
But not like Austin 316.
No, dude. That Austin 316 image was so iconic that they had to go back and run it back again and do it in red and yellow. I mean, they did 3 versions of the Austin 316. The first, the OG Austin 316, the white letters on black.
Yep.
Then the
black
second
T-shirt.
version is with the red one that was dripping blood and having the Austin blood face on the back. And then the third version was when he came back, the bionic redneck thing, when he came back from his injury. So they changed the font on the front, but in the back it was the same smoking skull but red, because to simplify the bionic redneck era of him. So they had to run that T-shirt 3 times. That's how so iconic. I had, by the way, the third one, the last one that I mentioned. That's the one that I had. I never got to have the Austin 3. I never even had an NWO T-shirt because I was living back in DR back then. So getting a hold of that T-shirt back then, well, it's a little difficult. Let's just say that a little difficult. But the thing is, yeah, but like, and we're just talking about the T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand, Rocky, he was known when he started, Rocky Maivia. He started out as a white meat babyface in the most generic creator wrestler mode in a wrestling video game character ever. All smiles with that curly hair on the top. And people were like, okay.
Jerry Care.
Yeah, oh yeah, he had the soul flow on top. If you see him Coming to America, you got that reference right then and there. You got the revelation. That soul flow. Anyway, Rocky was so bland and vanilla. I mean, the Rocky would say itself because that was not him.
No, he did. That documentary, I don't know if you watched it or not. He basically, he was trying to be someone that wasn't him.
Yeah, I believe it.
So the moment he asked Vince, he's like, Vince, just trust me with this. Just let me go out and do this. And look what happened when Vince basically trusted him.
Yeah,
no one was able to go out there and just talk out of their ass. Like him and Austin were because they earned that respect and they earned that to go out there
Oh
and just
no, look,
talk.
back then in the late '90s in WWE, they were the two best trash talkers. And the Rock. People complain about John Cena with the 5 moves of doom and whatnot. Rocky was not that versatile either. Austin had to tone down his style because of the neck injury fucked him up, so he had to change his style to a brawling style. But Austin was a technician.
Yeah.
Austin before that, he was a technician. He was having 5-star matches with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That is no slouch. Like having 5-star matches with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, that's Ric Flair territory, my son. That's Ric Flair territory. That's technical wrestling to perfection. Ricky the
Well, that's
Dragon,
where he got the ringmaster from.
like, so he was a technical wrestler. He knew, like, Austin and Bret had the greatest matches because both of them knew what the hell they were doing. They didn't even tell each other what they were gonna do. They just like in the middle of the match, oh, we'll figure it out. And they were like all the Bret and Austin matches were solid, solid. Like there was nothing, like it was just wrestling perfection between those two. So Austin knew how to go, but when he fucked up his neck, he had to change his style. So he had to go fisticuff. Had to go just fist.
Well, he had to learn how to tell the story by kicking and punching.
Yeah. So, but added to the fact that he was already like an 8-year veteran by the time he hit it big, when he finally got the gold from Shawn, those 8 years of experience helped. So because he already, I mean, if you watch the evolution of Austin, Austin was very bland in WCW. He was a very bland wrestler. Just long hair, blonde hair. He had those stupid gimmicks.
Thank God he cut it
And then
and went bald.
went to then he got fired from WCW and went to ECW. He didn't wrestle full time in ECW, but he cut some of the best promos I have ever seen in my life. Like he was so dead serious. He was making fun of Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, everybody. He was making fun of everybody, even imitating them. Yeah. Even calling them like the Stevester, like trying to be the Hulkster. He called himself the Stevester. He started dressing up like Hulk Hogan. He still had the long hair, and so he didn't have to put a wig on. Well, half a wig. Sorry, Hogan.
Hey, listen, you can't deny it. The dude was bald. What are you gonna do?
I mean, Hogan is the only guy that's been rocking a mullet without the top for a bunch of years now.
Dude,
that's pitiful, though. How can you be rocking long hair with you having a crown down for like over 40 years? That thing has been bald for over 40 years. That thing been bald. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, we're talking about Austin and Rock. So, like me watching the evolution of Austin and watching the evolution of The Rock. Now, another thing that I have to put Austin over, and this is kind of, you're going to be like, why? Why are you doing this? Well, this is the reason. Austin got hurt, as we've already been mentioning, and somebody had to carry the ball. Now, thank God that roster back in 98, 99, when he got hurt, was stacked. That roster in WWE was stacked. It was stacked.
It was like the Dominican team.
Yeah, but then...
Well, we're not going to go there.
The Undertaker went then and took them to Tombstone City.
Death Valley.
Yeah, they gave him Death Valley Driver, and the one that did the deed is also no more, so I guess we're even.
Yeah. Good for you. Welcome.
Bernie Mac, where were you? Anyways, so Austin got hurt, and who came on and picked up the ball right away? Rock. I mean, they played hot potato with that belt. I mean, at one point it was Rock. At one point it was Mankind. At one point it was Triple H. At one point it was even Big Show.
Didn't Taker have it at one point
Yeah.
too, around that era?
Yeah, it was everybody got a shot. Everybody got a moment. Everybody got a moment to shine while
Sounds
Austin
like
was out.
Jawbone.
I don't even
Oh, you're a
remember your
lucky
name.
man.
You a lucky man. We ain't gonna drop the references. We're gonna drop everything else but the references. That T-shirt
Oh,
been
that's
coming.
Bernie, man. You can't drop him. We already
Yeah.
did Uncle
Yeah.
D, Uncle Joey. You got to do Bernie.
That T-shirt better come. That T-shirt better come. Confusing a whole
My
bunch of people.
fingers still
Oh
work.
my God. And let's continue here with The Rock and Austin. Jesus Christ. Last thing you need to see is an image of Stephen Hawking being a horny whole cyber page.
Hey, listen. The another one is
No, Lou
baby
Gehrig.
with
Lou
an
Gehrig
apple.
disease. Sorry, Lou Gehrig disease.
Baby arm with an apple.
Woo! I guess that for if you don't know who that is, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so yeah, but The Rock was the standout of all the guys that we mentioned. The Rock was the standout because the type of smack that dude talked, he talked like no one, and he put people on their place like one of the best things to watch on wrestling back in the old days was watching Rock verbally ripping a new asshole on people, which he did on a daily basis. Every month,
Nothing too.
every Monday and Thursday, you get ready because somebody gonna get got.
I mean, they even gave this named the show after this dude's
Yeah, a
work.
name that stays to this day, SmackDown. He even said it. This is The Rock show. This is The Rock show, SmackDown.
Calling people jabronis.
Which was a wrestling term only reserved for that was an inside baseball term, and he took it out. That's jabroni is just saying that you're a jobber. You do jobs. Jobs is like you lay down. You take the 1, 2, 3. You take that L. So you're a jabroni. You do jobs. So calling people jabroni is like, what the hell are you talking about? You do the jobs here. You remember that there was even a crew in WWE called the Job Squad?
No, it must have been past my time.
That's like so inside baseball. Like that's like bringing inside stuff outside and calling them the Job Squad. That's like, okay, say what you are without saying it at all. Might as well call yourselves the Barry Horowitz team. The Barry Horowitz special. Jesus Christ. Like, so on the nose. Anyways. So, yeah. This is a long ass way of talking this shit. The thing is, Austin. Austin. Has to be Austin. Because Austin is the one that, like,
Paved the way.
paved the way. Rock, no disrespect to him. He did very fine. I'm not talking about just his outside of wrestling career and whatnot. I'm talking about inside the wrestling. I mean, people wish they would have the career that he had. People would wish to have that career and to stay on top because once he found it, I mean, it took him a while to find that niche.
It took him a long time.
It took him a while to find that niche. But once he found it, man, he never
He
left.
exploded. It's still today. He can go into a ring. He can go into a stadium and his music will play. And you're like,
You go ape
it's
shit.
same thing with Austin.
Yeah.
Once you hear that glass break,
Oh,
over.
no. It's done. And it's like, there are very few people who have that. Very few people. Like, you just hear the intro of their song. Like, with The Rock is, if you smell.
Yeah.
If you hear that,
Over.
it's over. Done. That crowd is going to go crazy. I mean, even
And the
Kurt
glass
Angle.
breaking, just,
Even
you
Kurt
suck.
Angle said that the loudest pop he's ever heard on a wrestling venue was last year when Austin came out in WrestleMania for last year. He said that crowd went ape shit when Austin went out.
I say Austin too, because like I said, like we said before, he paved the way for everyone else. So
And look, they've tried to duplicate the Austin formula. The
you
thing
can't.
that you can't do his skit because it's so him. That 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 persona is is like you can, because the thing is with him, he is believably that badass. You can believe it. You Because with other people you can suspend disbelief, like yeah, he could probably do it, like yeah, you can probably, but with Austin it's like, oh, your ass is toast. Your ass is gone. This guy's gonna smoke you right now.
And they shouldn't try to replicate it
No,
because wrestling is not what it was back then. It's not going to work now.
no, like what Austin was in a very unique time in wrestling, that it was balls to the wall. It was balls to the wall, and you can practically get away with murder.
The dude beat the shit out of his boss.
Yeah, try to do that shit now. Like, and that's the whole thing. The one critique I can say about WWE, they went to that well one too many times afterwards, and then they perpetuated. I mean, yes, that practically was what saved them. By the way, when the whole WCW thing, like when the Austin thing blew up, that's what made WWE what it is now. If it wasn't for Austin, WWE would have been dead on the water. And it was Austin that saved their ass. Hence, another reason why Austin over Rock, because it was Austin all the way that made WWE what it is today. The powerhouse that WWE is, like WWE is, it's beyond wrestling. It's beyond anything. It's become a cultural thing to the point that fucking NFL players, anywhere from any culture. I mean, you remember in what was it when the Detroit Pistons won their first title, championship, NBA championship in a while, like in 03, 04? Was it?
Okay.
Yeah,
Like something
remember?
around there.
Yeah. What did they all wear when they won the championship? It was a world heavyweight title. All of them.
Well, even football does that now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that Austin made wrestling cool because it was a laughing stock. In the 90s, holy shit. People wouldn't touch wrestling with a 10-foot pole. It was like hilarious because WWE was doing gimmick shit.
It was an 04.
Yeah, it was just doing gimmick crap like Duke the Dumpster Drozy, whatever, the Repo Man. Crap like that. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, so everybody there should have been a gimmick called the Custodian. Or the Clerk. Like that was the level of suckiness that it was back in the 90s, in the early 90s. Then Austin came and just kicked it right in the nuts. And the balls just came out of each nostril. And he just ran with the ball. And he moved the goalposts so far out that people has been playing catch up ever since.
It's not. You can't touch that era of wrestling.
No,
I'm
I mean
sorry.
the
No
only
one.
guy, the
No
only
one.
two guys that have gone close to what Austin has done in different respects are John Cena and Roman Reigns, but in their each individual way. Not exactly like Austin, but since Austin moved the post to where it is right now, it made the way for guys like Cena and Roman to have their day in the sun now. And Cena, yeah, I like better the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick than the whole hustle, loyalty, and respect thing than when he changed the names, because you got to remember, back in the day, his finisher wasn't called the Attitude Adjustment. It was called the FU. And the STF, it was called the STFU. Which is literally translated to shut the fuck up.
Get canceled now.
You can't use that now. John Cena is like wholesome, clean, family-friendly entertainment. Roman Reigns, it took him a while to find this character in the Tribal Chief. Because, dude, like the promos he was giving some years ago, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it wasn't. It
Oh
wasn't it.
my
Even I knew
God.
about it. It
The
wasn't it.
suffering succotash thing? When I didn't see it live, thank God. I would have cussed out wrestling and expel it from my life forever if I would have seen that shit live.
But
I was like,
now,
but now
this
the dude is red hot. With
dude playing his part to a fucking T.
he is playing that part to perfection.
It's like crazy, crazy good, and I hope hope WrestleMania is good.
Yeah, no. This year the card is stacked. We got a good card. Some exceptions here or there, but I'm very hopeful for this year. And again, this WWE, Vince McMahon, I know, yeah, we had to mention him.
Community,
Mr.
property.
Community Property, Mr. Minkia Juice himself. Minkia Juice Sprayer, Perpetual Minkia Juice Sprayer, Mr. Community Property himself, Mr. VKM, owes a debt of gratitude that he can never repay to Austin. Because Austin is the dude that brought him back to life. Like, WWE would not be what it is if it wasn't for Austin 316. I'm sorry. The Rock did his part, but the Undertaker, the Mankind, Triple H, a bunch of the people did. But Austin was the guy that brought him to the promised land. You can argue Hulk Hogan back in the 80s, but that's a whole different kind of animal. Because the 80s, yeah, solidified him into a point. But after the 80s were gone, like, even Hogan had to change his attitude and turn into Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Because the whole red and yellow crap wasn't selling like it was back in the 80s. Because guess what? We all grew up. And we can smell the bullshit from a mile away. We can smell the bullshit. So whatever worked in the 80s cannot work now. And yeah, you can say now that there's some nostalgia factor that you can add to Hogan. But that's it. That's basically it, nostalgia factor, because you were a kid, or I was a kid when Hogan had his heyday in the 80s. You weren't even born. Hulkamania was dying down when you were born. It was starting to die down. Hulkamania was.
They needed a lifeline. They needed something, and the wrestling wasn't doing great in the mid '90s, right?
It was hard. It was dog shit. It was honestly dog shit. I mean, I stopped. The only period in my life that I had zero, and I'm gonna say this again, zero knowledge of wrestling, was between 1992 to 96. From 1992 to 1996, I cut off wrestling completely out of my life. I cut it off. I completely cut it off. I have no recollection or idea. I know stuff that happened between that time frame because I've watched YouTube videos, and that's pretty much it. But that I lived through it, that I watched it, no. I cut that shit off my life because it was dog shit. The product was dog shit. And I could tell as a kid. You know what killed me in wrestling? When I started noticing, like, it's not that I didn't know. I mean, people know that it's bullshit, you know, in terms of not an actual thing that's going
Not
on.
a all-out brawl.
Exactly. It's predetermined, as they call it. I'm not saying that wrestling is fake. I'm saying it's predetermined.
Well, people out there call it fake.
Yeah,
So
the people call it fake. But you're pushing it when you do a segment between the Ultimate Warrior and the Undertaker, and also have Jake the Snake Roberts in the middle of it, and that Jake the Snake Roberts has one of the snakes bite Ultimate Warrior, and all of a sudden the camera is in the point of view of the Ultimate Warrior, and the camera starts blinking and looking up and watching the Undertaker and Jake the Snake Roberts, and you're like, I'm a kid, and I know that that's not possible. So either this is bullshit, or this is bullshit, or this is bullshit. Either way, it's bullshit. So that kind of is like because I could swear in DR, when I lived in DR, there was a wrestling federation in DR, by the way, back in the day. That's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother podcast. You know how in Puerto Rico, Carlos Colon, the father of Carlito Caribbean Cool, who he was famous like for a few years in WWE. His father was the man, the big dude, the big dog in Puerto Rico. So as Puerto Ricans might know who Carlos Colon is, Dominicans know who Jack Veneno is. Jack Veneno is the shit. He's like a superhero. He's our legit superhero. Passed away a few years ago from cancer. But Jack Veneno was our shit. And we watched wrestling in DR every Saturday morning. There was a wrestling show on, I think it was Channel 9 in Santiago. Or Channel 2, I don't remember well. The thing is, Jack Veneno was the shit. We used to watch it. I used to beg my dad. Me and my brother used to beg my dad to take us to see Jack Veneno. Papa, you quiero ver Veneno, quiero ver Veneno. My dad was busy getting his minkia sucked. But that's how you did there. Hey, he would tell you.
We're not going to talk about your dad that way in this podcast.
Hey, that was his old life, not now. Yeah, he's a straight and narrow man. He's a good Christian man. But back in the day, not so Christian. Not so Christian. Not so nice. So he was trying to get rid of us. So he just had his employees send us to.
Was he Vince McMahon back then?
He didn't have the money.
But
yeah, but not that level of like, I'll make you sign a waiver so you can.
Oh no, I'm just not all that part, but the sexual parts.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ric Flair level.
Maybe you are.
Oh God.
Next.
Ew.
Anyway.
Ew.
You're begging your dad to bring you to see this guy.
Yeah, we're begging him to take us. Sometimes he would take us, himself personally, because it's not that he hated us. It's just that we were, cock blocking. No, we were cock blocking. We were cock blocking him, basically. We were cock blocking him. So you're like, dude, like, respect the bro code. But we were kids. What the hell did we know about the bro code? So he was like, so sometimes he had to respect the father and son code. That kind of thing, kind of important, too. Instead of just thinking about getting your minkia wet.
That shit ain't important to him, man.
No, back in the day it wasn't. So, so he, the thing is, I mentioned Jack Veneno because Jack Veneno was the shit, but even back then, I was like, this is bullshit. This is all bullshit. But I didn't care because I was like, I'm entertained. That's basically that. And that, at the end of the day, is the purpose of wrestling. Entertaining your ass. That is basically it. So if people are shitting on it like Joe Rogan used to shit on wrestling, he used to do back in the day. I was like, oh, this is fucking bullshit. This is no athletic. Dude, ask the
Throw him in the fucking ring and see what happens.
Ask the Undertaker if this is not an athletic endeavor. Dude fucked up. It had a hip replacement. You gonna tell me that shit is fake? All wrestlers have rotator cuffs they have to replace on their shoulders. They're rotator cuffs. They're fucking. I mean, Austin himself, the thing they call him the bionic redneck. Anyone's just not a gimmick. The dude has more metal in his body than Darth Vader.
That's a lot of metal.
Motherfucker, they got more metal than Darth Vader, son. And Kevin Nash, how many quads has he torn?
Oh my God. I don't know how that dude is not in a walker yet.
He's torn his quads and half the roster quads. Fuck. Everybody told like, Kevin, I know you've done it 18 times, but can you take my quads too? Kevin, God damn it, here I go again.
Oh my God.
Here I fucking go again, turning the fucking quad again. Walking into the ring again. What I'm saying is that these people get hurt. These people get hurt a lot. And to call this shit fake, and people that have actually even lost their lives inside that damn ring.
Well, just look at Austin. Just
Austin
what ended
almost
almost
died.
ended his career was Owen Hart
Yeah,
with a
he
pile
almost
driver.
died. Dude almost died.
How you gonna call that fake?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's like I don't know how he got back into the ring after that.
No, he finished the match.
He finished the match, and then the freaking dude took like what was it like a year, maybe two? I forgot how long he
No,
took off.
he came back in like in less than a month.
Are you
After
serious?
after that, in less than a month, he came back, and he just worked hurt for over a year and some change until they did the angle where they ran him with the car, so that way he can finally get the operation.
I did it for The Rock.
Oh yeah, that's stupid shit. That's stupid shit. Anyway, oh god, they're cousins, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And also,
And
by the
his
way,
sons are the also brothers.
the Usos,
Uso
yeah,
brothers.
yeah. And you know what? Roman ain't actually their cousin.
Really?
Roman is actually their uncle.
Oh my god.
Because you remember a 5 minute warning?
No.
Well, the guy that used to tag with Umaga before Umaga was Umaga, they were known as Rosie and Jamal. And it was called 5 minute warning. So the Rosie
Hmm.
is it's actually Rosie was Rikishi's cousin, and Rosie also is Roman Reigns' older brother. So, although Roman is just like a couple of years older than the Usos, he's actually their uncle. And I mean, I heard the Usos tell a story that when they were explaining that, because that's where I learned it from. That it was the Usos themselves that explained it to them, and they was like when they were kids, Roman used to tell them like, "I swear to God, if you say I'm your uncle, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you too." I swear to God, just call me your cousin. Just say I'm your cousin, because it's embarrassing for me saying like, "Hey uncle, oh hi uncle." Why not? You imagine they were Latinos? You know how?
Tío,
No, son tío.
mira, coño.
Like, get the fuck out. I got a similar situation where my baby sister,
Hmm.
my baby sister and my oldest nephew, they were born both in the same year.
Mm.
So sometimes my baby sister teases her her nephew. It's a, aren't you gonna say something?
Oh,
And she's like, and he looks at her like, we're the same age.
don't matter.
It's like, technically
Respect,
you're my nephew. Technically you're my nephew, so you're supposed to say Sontia.
respected the what do you call it? The
The
chain of
ranks.
command here.
The ranks.
Okay, the ranking.
Yeah, you better respect the ranks here, because I'm this and you're that. To put it more lightly. To make it less insulting. So,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I guess we took almost an hour just to say Austin over Rock. I
Well,
think,
it's a good debate. It wasn't like it was. It's a good debate because there was a lot to put into it.
yeah,
We
no.
know The Rock out.
No.
In
Post
life,
wrestling? Post wrestling?
post
Oh
wrestling, The
my
Rock got it. I mean,
God.
he's one of the highest paid
Oh
actors,
my God. He
if
blew
not
he
the
blew
highest
Austin
paid
out.
actor in Hollywood right
He
now.
blew Austin out of the water. Post wrestling? Jesus Christ.
But Austin never wanted that life. He tried that one movie and he just was like, nah.
No, Austin is more.
Redneck, drinking beer, hunting for
Yeah,
food, and sitting in his comfortable ranch by him with his wife and dogs. He was never about
but
that life.
but
Rock wanted that life.
yeah. By the way, have you seen the Darth Vader dubbed by Austin?
No.
Oh my God, I gotta send you that shit. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my god, that's some of the funniest shit you're gonna see on Earth, on God's green earth. Let me see if I can find it.
What kind of juice is Cameron Grimes on?
Uh huh. Wait. I'm
I
going.
better test that dude's piss.
Wait.
That's bull in my book. Do you agree with me? Well, it really don't matter if you agree with me or not. I need more men. Get your fat ass outside then, you cocksucker. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to come over and put my foot up your ass to get you motivated. I will. We shall double our efforts. Do your damn job.
That's Darth Vader as Stone Cold.
There ain't nothing better than getting out in the woods and hunting and fishing and enjoying God's green earth, enjoying Mother Nature. That's where more motherfuckers need to be, period. I'll be damned.
This is a rebel that surrendered to us.
How you doing, Luke? I heard you've been running around saying you could take me in a fight. What? What? You ain't gonna last long because Stone Cold's on fire. As far as I'm concerned, this over with, so get the hell out of here.
Gold. I'm gonna send it to you now. But I just needed you to hear it because this is the most funny shit. And then when you see the images, you get the context. Like, oh, that's even better now.
Nothing's ever going to be as good as that jawbone thing you sent me.
No,
That's fucking gold.
Oh, I know who you are. I know who you are.
Man, that's my homie, my wife.
Oh, back in the day, that woman could suck a meat. Well, you know, you a lucky man. we like eventually Bernie Mac's estate is gonna come after us. Just to be like, pay up, bitches. We'll be like, wait, what money? This thing don't make no money.
You should play it just like you did Austin's.
Oh no. No, that's too much. That's pushing it now. That'd be pushing it now.
That's my homie, my wife.
That'd be pushing it now. That'd be pushing it.
Man.
So anyway, I hope you guys.
I remember when we used to call you.
No. Oh, I remember. I even remember your name. They used to call you Jabba. Wow, that is a name that puts everything in perspective. It's Jawbone. Oh, God. Here we are.
But I love when you go, oh, you're a lucky man.
You're a lucky man.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so I think we can shut it off here because there's no way we could get it higher than this. Long story short, Austin over Rock.
It was a good debate.
Yeah. I don't think Rock could get angry at that. He cutting his millions out there. Like, what you guys were talking about? Who's better than what? Yeah. Go ahead.
You know how he got Austin? How he got to 316?
The Bible.
Well, he was. What happened was he was in the King of the Ring tournament and he got busted open. I think facing forgot his name. Was it Steve Bone? Steve?
Savio Vega, I think it was.
Yeah, Savio Vega. Yeah, he got busted open. He went to the hospital, and he came back in a taxi. And Jake the Snake said something about praying, and he said 316. So when he beat Jake the Snake and he went up to get his crown, he goes, "You can say your little prayers and all that, but Austin 316 means I just whooped your ass." And that's how it just went on. That's how it all started, because Jake the Snake was saying something about praying 316 in the Bible, and that's how he just got everything all together, and he just ran with it. It was crazy. Instead of watching, the pay-per-view things on Peacock, maybe you want to see some documentaries. I think you will enjoy it. I mean, I watched the last ride with the Undertaker. I watched the Rock's thing and Austin's thing. Austin's thing is, I think, like the half hour, but the Rock thing is like an hour and 51 minutes or something like that. It's freaking huge.
Oh well. I guess I'll check it out. So this has been what, 110?
110, 110, man.
110. Jesus Christ! These things are just keep adding up. I guess that's how numbers work.
Sometimes, I mean,
that's
you
how
always
math works.
You always want your bank account to work that way.
I'll tell you a story when we're done. When I checked the residuals of this podcast, oh Jesus Christ, that inspires me to keep on doing this. If you catch my drift. Anyway, so yeah, 110. No more O's in the middle. The O is now in the little, in the end. Now it's just 110. So this has been 110 of the Husky Bible podcast. I hope that this change of pace was more to your liking, and if it is, I mean, the numbers will speak for itself. If it is, we'll continue this. Doing it this way. If not, you'll go back to the old way where you can get bored of us reading shit.
I still think that even if the numbers don't change, I think this is a better way of us speaking freely. I mean,
yeah, without
it's not like a newscast.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before. Well, you mentioned it to me before off the podcast. It sounded like we're reporting news and news that they can get. I think if we stick to our opinions on stuff, I think the podcast would. I don't know if it would do better or worse, but I mean, we can't get any worse.
I mean, we're ready.
So
we're ready,
Yeah.
Not even worth
we're already in the shitter. So I mean, it's at this point
like,
we're just doing it
like
just to do it.
Green shit, brown shit.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go to.
There is black, by the way.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Next level. Next level, black shit or dark shit. I would be the better term. The more PC term would be dark shit. Okay.
Dark shit, yes.
Dark shit. That would be the best PC term, because if you use the other term, that would be kind of could be misleading. Although that was not ever the intention.
Never.
Ever the intention. But some people might consider that a Freudian slip. Some people, not us.
Some people, huh?
Not us. Well, let's not go there. Anyway, this has been the Husky Bible podcast. You remember that all our stuff, the T Public store, the specials. Guess what? They're still there.
T-shirts are $16 right now.
They don't stop these specials like every week. It's like how can we get rid of these T-shirts?
Well, they make them to order. They just have a lot of extra T-shirts that they need to sell.
Yeah, I guess they need excuses to print these things because they're already wasting the money on buying the damn T-shirts.
We got to make a new one.
Yeah. I guess we've been talking on it for a while. We just need to approve the designs and kind of censor it because walking around with so many cuss words. It's like me, you hear me cuss all the storms in the world. I actually go to church. Imagine me rocking a
T-shirt. And you would just accept it too.
Yeah. Imagine me rocking a T-shirt with all the damn cuss words we just mentioned.
Jumbo.
Oh my God.
Oh, we have to put you're a lucky man.
Oh my God.
That's the new one we got to add on that one.
Oh my God. They'll be like, I would imagine just the leaders of the church looking at me like crossing their hands and like,
Ariel, what's
no. They'll be like, get the fuck out.
Oh, you just cursed.
Like you, under the circumstances, I think we are justified to cuss your ass out. So don't let that door hit you right square in the ass. Get the fuck out, or you get the size 13 boot up your ass.
Yeah, lucky man.
Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, also remember huskybamboo.pod.com where you can get all the old podcasts. Our social media, Husky Bamboo Pod, Instagram, Twitter.
Facebook too.
Yeah, unfortunately. our our social media, that Ariel Duran at Instagram, Twitter, and yours
Johnny Boy 426 on Instagram.
only on Instagram. Forget about anywhere else. On him. Me, I'm more masochistic. I actually still have Twitter. For what reasons, I don't know.
I have Twitter too, but I don't use it.
I barely
I don't
go
even
there.
know my login. I don't think.
I barely go there, and it's just to watch. Okay, let's see how hell
That's
has.
cool.
Let's see what level of cesspool we've gone in today. You're like, oh, thank you, Twitter. You do not disappoint.
It's like hold my beer. I'm gonna do this every day. Hold my beer.
Twitter is like, don't ever change Twitter. Don't ever change. Actually, please do. Please do. For fuck's sake, you sick sons of bitches. You sick fucks. How dare you? I'll quote Greta Thunberg on your asses. How dare you? You talk to your mama with that mouth. You kiss your mama in the cheek with that mouth. You dirty bastards. You dirty sons of bitches. Or Ric Flair would say, you son of a bitch. See, I'm here talking about going to church and here, cussing up a storm.
Man.
I guess I got that in common with Steve Harvey. Anyway.
He said when he started going to church when he heard the nun say a curse word.
We're not going to go there. Let's not go there. It's okay that we take the bullet, but now let's put our innocent bystanders now in the way. Let's not put some innocent bystanders in the way. Like, we can eat the bullet. We take the bullet, we eat the bullet, but let's not put any people out here in the way just because we some idiots. So again,
Just having fun.
yeah. So then Husky Bamboo Pod and all that other stuff. So this is me and Jonathan saying goodbye. Thank you for listening. And take a breather after this one.
Have a good week, everyone. Peace out.
It was intense. Jawbone.
Jumbo. Yeah, lucky man.
You're a lucky man.
Son of a bitch, that's my hoe.
Oh my God.